Hi first grade families. I'm going to explain what these book bags are that are coming home in your child's backpack. I'm going to explain what's inside of them and then also what to do with them as well. So first of all, the most important thing inside of your child's book bag is going to be this letter right here. This letter is going to explain what your child's reading level is at the moment. This level was determined based off of a quiz they took in class. And then also it's going to say that your child has a certain number of points that they have to earn before the end of the trimester. The points are going to be how many quizzes your child takes and how many books that they read. Inside the book bag, you're also going to find a book. This is going to be from your teacher's personal library. The book is going to be inside. It's going to be in that reading level that's designated on the other letter. What your child is going to do is you're going to take it home and you're going to read the book 2 times. You can read it once one day and a second day. You can read it 2 times in one day. But the reason we recommend reading it 2 times, the first time you're reading it just to understand all of the words, and the second time you're reading it to really understand what happens in the story. The reason you need to understand what happens in the story is your kiddo, when they bring the book bag back, is going to be taking a quiz on what happened in the story. One way you as a parent can really determine whether or not they actually understand what happened in the story is you're going to have this little bookmark inside of the book bag. Just pick a couple of these questions and just see if they can answer them. If they can, they're probably ready to take a quiz. If they can't answer those questions, maybe they need to read it a 3rd time. And again, that's completely fine. One thing to remember about these books is that we are not expecting your child to be able to read every single word inside the book. It's actually highly encouraged that you read the book with your child so you can help them with those bigger words. And again, some words are going to be sight words, which means words you cannot sound out. They just have to be able to memorize them. So again, it's recommended that you read the book with your kiddo and then ask them questions when you're all done. If your kiddo is ready to take a quiz on that book, there's going to be a reading log inside of the bag. We ask that you write down the name of the book that they read, just so we have a running record of the names of the books they read. The reason we need this is because the AR system, which has all the quizzes in it, will only let your child take a quiz on a book 1 time the entire 1st grade year. So for example, if your kiddo reads this book in September and then they try and take it home again in April, the AR system is going to say they already took this quiz, they need to get a new book. So writing down the name of the book is really going to help the parent, volunteer, or your teacher. They're going to check the list and make sure they don't take home a book 2 times. Then as a parent, if you want to know how your child is doing on these quizzes, there's going to be a letter inside the book bag. It looks like this. It's going to say Home Connect at the top. This is essentially AR for parents. It's going to tell you when your child took a quiz. It's also going to tell you the score that your child got on it. This is really going to help you keep track of how many points they have earned and how close they are to meeting their goal for the trimester. The final paper that's going to be inside your child's book bag is just an extra page for decoding skills. If your kiddo's having a hard time sounding out words, these are just some ways that can help them. A few things to keep in mind. When your kiddo comes and brings the book back to school, we're going to ask that you bring the bag as well. So the book and the bag, bring those to school. And then what happens is your kiddo's just going to bring home a new book inside the bag. Each quiz, if your kiddo passes the quiz, is worth about half a point. So for example, if on this letter it says your kiddo needs to get to 4 points, double that, because each quiz is worth about a half a point, and that'll give you about how many quizzes and how many books your kid needs. Rule of thumb is that your kiddo should be reading about 1 or 2 books and taking 1 to 2 quizzes each week to help them meet their goal by the end of the trimester. One final thing, when they take the quiz is either read to them on the computer or the parent helper will read them the questions. Just so you know that it's a comprehension test, it's not a reading test. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Other than that, happy reading.